please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today I want to show you a process of making your own bricks. When you are developing your self-sufficient community, you want to reduce your costs as much as possible and at the same time make your building materials from the same earth, not having to bring materials from far away, but keep the costs down, make it cheap and auspicious. So in this case we have decided to make our bricks with a technology called compressed earth brick. We're going to show you the process from beginning to end, how to make one of these bricks. And you can very easily afford this construction method because the machine that we're using to make these bricks is very cheap, it's very accessible. You can make it on your own wherever you are in the world for around $300. And you will be able to produce all the bricks you will require for a decent sized home on your own. So let me show you the detail. All the soil that you're going to need has to be sifted. This is a 6-7 millimeter mesh, metal mesh, and we're using 2 large pieces of bamboo. Very easy self-sifting mechanism. You just basically have to grab your soil and throw it, and with the force of gravity we are sifting all the soil. You need to identify the different types of soil that you have in your land. You can very easily do this by digging a hole 1 meter, 2 meters, and start to see different layers that are available. In this case, we have 50 centimeters of topsoil, then we have sand, about 30 centimeters, and then another meter below, which is clay. Below that, we have only rocks. So there's only so much soil that we have to work with. We liked using sand and cement because the bricks are cured and made very quickly. They can be used in a very quick manner. But it changes according to your region and you will have to evaluate. The clay part is also very useful if you want to make your own pottery or your own kitchen materials, things like that. But it is a learning curve and it is better to have some time ahead to evaluate the land. And dumping it into the center part. Okay, ready to This is the stage in which we are mixing the cement, the sand and the soil. This is the traditional method of turning the sand and the whole mix back and forth several times. This will basically make the whole mix even. At this point we haven't added any water. We want to add water so that the cement becomes activated and it will start to act as a glue. Once the mix is thoroughly turned, then we're going to add the water. You make a little volcano like that, and then you add, in this case, 1 bucket of water. And then we have to let it sit for a little while for the cement to activate. Not long. And then we start again turning slowly, a little bit at a time. This will be our final mix. And after doing several turns of this, we'll have the right consistency. So we have finished mixing 3.5 wheelbarrows of sand, half a wheelbarrow of soil, they're all sifted, and half a sack of cement. At this point, we mixed everything very nicely, and we have the consistency for making the bricks. You can check the soil by pressing it into your hand and it will form one single clump. Of course, each sand in every region, wherever you live, will change slightly or a lot. And depending on those conditions, you will have to tweak a formula that will work for you. It is very auspicious because you're using the same materials that the land has already. You're not bringing materials from far away. It's already auspicious. And if you choose your property nicely, your land, then you will have very auspicious soil also. This is our transcendental brick making machine. We are using metal plates which will act as the mold for the holy name. We're using different holy names, Hare, Krishna, Rama. This is a technology called CEB, or compressed earth brick. This is a machine that was designed about 30 years ago, and it is a very simple concept. You have several levers, and it's all made of steel, that when you put the soil inside, by actioning the lever, you press the brick into a block that you see right now. We're using this plate that goes below here, and the idea is that the holy name will be imprinted on each brick. This is extremely auspicious when you're building, because your house will become completely spiritualized, especially if you're building a temple for the Lord or something that will be dedicated fully in the service of Krishna. It will be very pleasing and auspicious. So notice how the soil comes in a very soft manner, and after it's pressed, it creates a full solid block. These blocks are still fresh. They would break if I would stand on them, but you have to wait a little bit, around 7 days, until they're cured and you can actually use them in construction. And these are the actual plates we're using to make the bricks. These plates imprint the logo, so you'll notice the text is reversed so that it will show up in the proper way when the brick is taken out. And it is very simple principle. It's just a metal plate with pieces of bamboo, strips of bamboo that we super glued into the plate. And that's how we're imprinting the holy name, Hare, Rama, Nityāṁ, Gaura, and Krishna. It is very easy to maintain and very cheap to make different brands and different auspicious symbols, everything according to Hari-bhakti-vilāsa. Since we are located in a small town, there's always people who want work, who are looking for a job. And this is a very good, easy way to generate or start a business in any location, because everybody will need bricks and everybody will be able to work on this brick machine. It's very simple, it requires very little training, and we're hiring people that are young men, 15-year-old from school. They work half day, and it gives employment to a lot of people, and we are reducing our brick expenses to 1/3. So it is very, very good for everyone. It activates the economy locally, and at the same time you are constructing with natural materials that belong to the same place you're going to live in. After the bricks are pressed, you have to cover them with a tarp. Why? Because if it rains, they will disintegrate, or if there's too much wind, they will dry too fast. So they need to cure slowly. That's how cement works. Even other types of bricks, when they're made of clay, they need to be covered. So we just bought some cheap piece of plastic and basically just leave them covered. After several days, you will see that the brick hardens and becomes a very solid mass. Right behind me, you can see there was a big layer of red clay. And so we decided to start some tests into making more transcendental bricks. This is 10% lime, and this is Hare brick, very beautiful clay brick. And we're still developing that formula. But also I want to show you the final result. And this is already our compound wall as it's 120 in height. Very, very strong, solid sand bricks, sand and cement bricks. Very, very nice, very, very cheap compared to buying the bricks on the hardware store. And auspicious because we're using the same land that was purified during the fire sacrifice. If you have any comments or questions, please visit our website, thevedic.org, and there's much more detail to this process of brick making, so please read the description below, and please contact us if you have any questions or we can help you in any way. Thank you. Hare Krishna.